Well, every other day, there is something that we will do what we will on his page. It's KevOnStage is where you can follow him. And he is an NAACP Image Award nominee in the category of social media influencers. Let me welcome to the show, Mr. Kevin Fredericks. Welcome to the Karen Hunter Show.
What's going on? Hello, Karen. Thank you for having me. What's up, Lamont?
What's good with you? Can I say something before you say
wait,
anything?
before you go ahead.
Okay, I just want to do this because I know I don't know when the next chance will be. But, sir, I would like to address you directly. We have never met. We have a lot of mutual comrades, but I want to give you your flowers because what you built from the ground up is the absolute blueprint. I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if it was accidental, but I've been watching you since the beginning, and you, sir, are important to the game. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Lamont. Thank you so much. That's the best welcome I done had on any interview I've been on.
Well, I'm gonna do not the opposite. I do respect you. That's why you're here. But I'm gonna need you to pull over and like be still. I feel nervous about you driving because this is not the kind of show that you should be driving and talking.
I'm not driving.
What are you doing? I feel like I see the road. Where are you, in Kenya or something? I see the road moving. So are you being driven? What is happening?
I'm being driven. I'm in the back seat.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fancy. All right. I accept that. I was like, he looked like he's driving and talking at the same. This don't seem, I don't know how your airbags are, but we need you to be healthy in here.
No, I'm good.
To Lamont's point, social media to me is, I don't struggle with it. I teach journalism, and I feel like in many ways, the social media spaces, when they're done properly, give more information than any of these news outlets, any of these cable outlets. And I think they're important when they do it well and they do it right. And there's a handful of people who do it well and do it right, and you're among them, and bring humor. So what is your background? What are you, a comedian or just somebody smart and funny?
Yeah, I started off as a stand-up comedian, and I still do stand-up comedy. I then went into plays. I was trying to become Tyler Perry of Tacoma, Washington, and I found out you can't do that. There's not enough Black people in Tacoma.
It's like what, 4%? 4% Black people, 1% up in Tacoma. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very tiny. So actually, the internet was the kind of like we were actually like, hey, let's try to post these videos on the internet because if we can get a lot of fans in these cities, then we can tour our plays.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the main reason I got on the internet, to build up fan bases all across the nation, because we couldn't afford to really tour anywhere. We quickly learned that the internet is its own place that has its own currency. And I mean, it really worked. We just didn't do the plays. We just did basically stand-up comedy, me, my brother, and my friend Anthony. And I just kept doing that. That was probably 2012 when we started, early 2012. And I've basically been posting almost a video every day ever since then.
Now, so from the very beginning, and when you say Anthony, you're talking about Doughboy, right?
No, Anthony Davis.
Oh, Davis. Oh, okay. All right. So
yeah,
in the beginning, what was the hardest part in the beginning? Because there are people who started along that time and still have not been able to master that part of the game. What was the hardest part in the beginning?
I think the hardest part, and the part that most people don't get by, is making video after video that no one cares about. It was years of, like, on my KevOnStage page, it was years of making videos that didn't go anywhere. 10 views, 15, 20. I remember when I first started getting 100 views, I was like, all right, baby, we're breaking 100 now. And then 1,000. The Playmakers videos start off doing very well, but on my own personal page, it took years. And I think most people get discouraged. I don't want to say early on, but eventually they get discouraged, and you just got to keep posting, and keep posting. And people are just, it's hard. It's a lot of rejection. It's like, why am I doing this? I'm posting and nobody cares. It's taking all this time and nobody's watching it anyway. And they just give up. And I get that, because that's how I'm about working out. It's like, I'm going to eat right every day. It's been 4 or 5 days. I still look the same. I'm out. I'm going to McDonald's. So I totally get it, but I was just very committed, probably more committed than most people. And that's, I think, really the only difference. The strategy behind what I do and the relentlessness of posting is what has helped me with success.
But you also have to be good. And that's the tough thing, to know, I know I'm good, even if no one else does, and whether, some people feel like they're good and they're delusional, but to know you actually are putting out quality and it's just a matter of time. But that consistency, you're right. Most people quit, but you also have to know what you're putting out as quality and just stick with it as well. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think sometimes I honestly believe you have to have a healthy bit of delusion to be in the entertainment industry, because it's full of rejection. And I think, you got to kind of believe in yourself, because everybody's going to tell you no every single day. But then there's the unhealthy delusion where it's just like, all right, now it's okay to give up too. You got to switch your angle, and only you can find out when that is. Because honestly, there's some people who I think are terrible and not funny, and they find an audience. So it really just depends on, are you willing to find the people who rock with you, and go as hard as you can until you find them.
The formula for KevOnStage Studios, what was it that turned you in that direction to say, hey, I'm gonna stop everything and we're gonna launch this production studio, subscription base, and change the game? What was that moment?
Yeah, actually, I was trying to get into independent movies before that, and my brother, who was managing me at the time, he had this opportunity. He was like, I think we can do more than just movies. Like, a movie's kind of a one and done thing. You have an opportunity to make an app. Because I had a background, I used to work in digital media and I had a background in content creation. I was the head of content at AllDev Digital and talent. I knew how to make good content for cheap. I figured that I could build a place for Black people to come and enjoy content that you wouldn't be ashamed of. Right? There's a lot of content, like, there's some reality content that we'd be like, we got to do better, even though people watch it. So it's kind of like, well, if y'all didn't watch it, it wouldn't get made. But I wanted to create a place where we can make content that Black people enjoyed, that also created opportunities for Black people behind and in front of the camera to chase their dreams, get opportunities they wouldn't otherwise get. And that's kind of what I did. I feel like my purpose in life is to create opportunities for others, right? My platform is for the community. As much as possible, when I do anything, I want to give other people opportunities to do what they love. Now, I still want to do my stuff too, don't get me wrong. It ain't only for other people.
Right.
But I feel like part of what I enjoy is creating opportunities for people.
That you're a man after my own heart, which is what I knew. There's something about the joy. Today, even I think you are celebrating somebody else that's nominated for an NAACP award in your same category. And I was like, that's the way that should look. There's no competition. We're all celebrating one another. And I was like, this man is special.
Thank you. Yeah, I believe, we all win. When one of us wins, we all win. When you're Black, we take the blame of every other Black person, but we also take the joy of other Black people. When other Black people win, like Quinta Brunson wins an Emmy, I'm like, oh my God, Quinta won. Oh, Issa won. Like, even though I'm not on that stage, I feel a sense of joy watching them win. And I think that's part of what, to be Black is. We're a very connected culture. We're very connected to the success of our other Black people. And I think that's part of my joy, is just watching people winning myself. But I really, truly know that their victories has no impact on my journey. Yeah. So Quinta winning an Emmy doesn't mean I won't win one day. You know what I'm saying? Even my first NAACP award nomination, Tabitha Brown won. She's a great friend. And I was like, of course I wanted to win, but I also was happy that she won, because I saw how much it meant to her. So I think two things can be true.
Now, you also mentioned AllDev Digital, which is that was Russell Simmons' platform, correct?
Right.
Now, was he paying y'all? Did he rob y'all?
No, he actually, we were paid. I mean, we weren't paid crazy, but I mean, I always say I got paid to make YouTube videos, and I didn't have a job prior to that, and I got health insurance. So I was very happy. I didn't make crazy money, but getting paid to make videos and getting that experience, I was like getting paid to go to college, because that was like 4 years of training. I learned about production, set, cameras, post-production, color. I mean, I would have paid to learn that information in college, but instead I got paid to learn that. And a lot of the audience that I gained during that time is still with me today. So it was very impactful for my career. I don't think I could have made KevOnStage Studios if I didn't have that 4-year training period at AllDev. And the year or two prior, my sons were working on Awesomeness TV, and I got to work with them as well. So that was basically like graduate school and undergrad in media creation, which there's hardly anybody who has that much experience that didn't work at one of those companies like AllDev or BuzzFeed or Tasty or something like that.
Wow.
Kevin Fredericks is here. KevOnStage is his handle on the Twitters. Where are you from, Kevin? Who are your peoples? Tell us something about yourself.
I'm originally from El Paso, Texas, but my dad was in the military, so I like to say I'm from everywhere and nowhere, because when my mom and dad got married, I bounced around basically every 3 years. Virginia, North Carolina, back to Texas, then to Washington for 13 years. Then my parents moved from Washington, so it didn't really feel like home. My grandma moved from El Paso, so I'm from the United States Army. It's probably easier to understand from Fort everywhere.
What I find a lot with Army, what they call Army brats, is that you're, a lot of entertainers, a lot of folk who are in acting, because you're always having to go from place to place and establish yourself all over again. That you are naturally bent. Either you're going to be a complete, introvert, or you're going to be KevOnStage and others.
Yeah, I totally agree. You're the first person who ever said that. And I 100% agree. You're moving, you're meeting new friends. You really don't have the luxury of being shy, because you won't, especially if you go to a school that's off base and they've been growing up together, then you really are either going to jump in there and meet new people, or you're going to be quiet for a whole school year. So I definitely think, or get jumped, literally. And I think that's part of my personality came from moving around a lot and having to make new friends every, 2 or 3 years.